Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss another topic, that is about hormones, which is an important topic of human physiology. Today we are going to discuss what is hormone and what are the different types of hormone, which is very essential for our normal functioning of our body. So this video will be consist of different parts. In the first part we are going to discuss about the hypothalamus, and in the subsequent videos we will be discussing about rest of the hormones. So let's begin. Before understanding what is hormone, let's first understand what is endocrine system. Because there are two types of system which our body mainly, that is, one is exocrine, another one is the endocrine. If you want to understand what is exocrine gland, these are the glands which consist of ducts. That is, whatever they secrete from the body, they have duct and then they transport into the different body cavity. Through duct they transport their product. Whereas when we come to the endocrine system, these are certain glands, or you can say these are certain systems which do not have any ducts, that is any ductless glands, you can see. So they secrete whatever they secrete, chemical messenger or something, this is known as hormone. These hormones will circulate in our blood stream or our body, and it will transfer to a distant organ. So this is the difference between endocrine system and exocrine system. So whatever the secretion will be in the endocrine system will be through the chemical messenger. Through a messenger it will transport to the target organ, distant organ. Whereas in endocrine glands, they secrete hormone directly into the bloodstream and distribute through the body. So this is the difference. Endocrine means ductless gland, exocrine means there is glands are present. Okay, and these are mainly controlled by tissues and organs like the hypothalamus, and hypothalamus is the main controlling center. So now we know what is endocrine system and what is exocrine system. Now let's understand what is hormones. So hormones are nothing but are the chemical messengers. They are the signal molecules. Okay, they are the part of the endocrine molecule which are transported to the target organ. They will be transporting to the target organ. And if you want to understand what is hormone, hormone are a low molecular weight, chemically heterogeneous and non-nutritive substance, and are produced in a trace amount and act as an intracellular signaling molecule. What is this? Hormones are nothing but a signaling molecule which are secreted from one gland, and it is moves in circulate in our body through our bloodstream, and then it transport to the target organ. And if you focus on certain word, like they are very low in molecular weight and they are chemically heterogeneous, means different substance it will be made up of, and in a very small amount it will be produced, and then it will be used in the intracellular signaling molecule. Okay, through bloods it will be transported to the target system. So this is all about what is endocrine system, what is exocrine, and what is hormone. If you see, the hormones are signaling molecule, you can see, because they are the messenger. So how do they transmit? So hormonal signaling mainly include the storage and secretion of hormone to the target cell. That is, a receptor protein will be present which will rely and amplify the signal which is produced, and then the cellular response will be seen. Okay, if you focus on this word, hormonal signaling involves the biosynthesis of a particular hormone in a particular tissue, storage and secretion of the hormone, transport of hormone to the target cell, recognition of the hormone by the associated cell membrane. Wherever the hormone will be targeted, that organ will recognize the hormone and will receive through a receptor protein, it will receive, and then what will happen, it will relay the information, whatever hormone information hormone will be carrying, it will amplify and relay to the target cell. Okay, this is all about the hormones and what are the different and all such important characteristics of hormone. Then if we focus upon the characteristics, or you can say the classification of the hormone. Basically hormones are made up of, first of all I have told you that hormones are heterogeneous in nature. Why it is heterogeneous? Because it is not made up of single substance. It is made up of 3 different substances. It is a combination of 3 different things. That's why it is known as hetero. Hetero means different. If you focus that what are the 3 things that a hormone is made up of, they are mainly made up of amino acids, cholesterol, or you can say phospholipid. So if you focus, that is mainly made up of amino acid, or you can say phospholipid, basically cholesterol. Okay, and they are divided basing upon their composition. They are divided into 2 types. One is if they are soluble in lipid, second is soluble in water. So basing upon this composition, the lipids, or you can say hormones, are divided into 2 types, that is lipid soluble hormone, another one is the amino acid soluble, water soluble hormone. Okay, this in exam it is asked which are the lipid soluble hormone and what is water soluble hormone. It will be asked in exam, so this is very important. So what are lipid soluble? Those hormones which include steroid hormones and thyroid hormones are known as the lipid soluble hormone. What are steroid hormone? That is derived from the cholesterol. All the progesterone, testosterone, okay, these are all derived from the derived from the hormone, that is cholesterol, progesterone and testosterone. Then what is thyroid hormone? Thyroid hormones is the derived from the tyrosine, okay, amino acid tyrosine. You must be understood what is tyrosine. Okay, so from the tyrosine it will be derived. One second. So from the tyrosine it will be derived. And one more thing is that if you understand what are the derived from of the cholesterol, which hormones are derived from cholesterol, in the subsequent video, when we will study about progesterone, estrogen and testosterone, then we will read about what are steroid hormones. And thyroid hormone, for now you understand that the lipid soluble hormones are of 2 types, that is steroid hormone, another one is the thyroid hormone, that is T3 and T4. And remember that the thyroid hormone is derived from the amino acid, that is tyrosine. Okay, it is derived from the tyrosine, and it will have a benzene ring, that is tyrosine will be having, because tyrosine is a what is tyrosine? Tyrosine is an aromatic amino acid. Tyrosine, tryptophan, phenylalanine. If you know amino acid, then these are all the aliphatic amino acid. From there only, from tyrosine only, the thyroid hormone is derived. It is asked in exam, from where is the thyroid hormone derived? That is from where the steroid hormones are derived. So it is very important, and I have also underlined it so that it will be better for you to note down. Okay. Moving to the next, that is what are water soluble hormones. All the hormones which are made up of amino acid, peptide, protein, okay, all these things will be water soluble. Okay, as I told you, the composition of hormone is of 2 types. One, either it will be made up of amino acid, or it will be made up of cholesterol or phospholipid. So those which are made up of cholesterol or phospholipid will be obviously lipid soluble, and those which are made up of amino acid will be water soluble. Okay. So there are different types of amino acids, as you know, as we have studied all amino acids also. So different types of, one is the amine hormone, which are synthesized by the decarboxylation process. For example, what are the amine hormone? For catecholamine, epinephrine, norepinephrine, dopamine, these all are the amine hormone. And from where it is secreted, where it is synthesized? From the amino acid, that is tyrosine. Okay. All this serotonin, melatonin, okay, these are all the amine hormone. So where does from serotonin and melatonin is derived? It is derived from the tryptophan. This is very important. Catecholamine, epinephrine, norepinephrine, dopamine, all these are derived from the tyrosine, and that is from the serotonin, and melatonin is derived from the tryptophan. These are the amine hormone which will be water soluble. And what are peptide hormones? Peptide hormones are made up of peptide, that is about 3 to 49 amino acid. there are several peptide hormones are present, like the oxytocin. Okay, oxytocin is one of the peptide hormone, and the different types of, like the insulin, also a peptide hormone, and these are made up of peptide bond. Okay, so basically these are the different categories of hormone. One is water soluble, another one is lipid soluble, and each one of them we will be discussing in the upcoming classes. In the upcoming videos we will be discussing what is catecholamine, what is epinephrine, norepinephrine, what is its function, all that we will discussing in the upcoming videos. But for now we will be only focusing about the introductory part, that is what is endocrine system, what is hormone, and what are the classification of hormone, which we have already discussed. Now we will be discussing upon the major, that is the, you can say, master gland, or you can say that is the hypothalamus. Okay, so where is the hypothalamus located? If you see the location, hypothalamus, this is the hypothalamus, and from here two type, that is from here the anterior pituitary and the posterior pituitary arises. Okay, this is the structure. If you focus on one thing, that is hypothalamus is mainly located in the forebrain. If you know the exact portion, it is located at the base of diencephalon of the forebrain, and it is known as neuroendocrine structure, and it is true endocrine, and its secretion is called neurohormone. Why it is called neurohormone? Because it is attached to the forebrain. Okay, and one more thing, the hormones which are secreted are moved to stimulate the pituitary gland, and then the pituitary gland, either it will stimulate posterior pituitary or anterior pituitary, and then from this pituitary gland it will move to the target organ. Okay, and whatever hormones which will be secreted from this hypothalamus, these are known as releasing hormone. Okay, and which will stimulate, and whatever hormone which will inhibit is known as inhibitory hormone. For example, if you say gonadotropin, releasing hormone. Okay, from first we need to understand whatever hormone which will be present in the target, first it will be secreted from the hypothalamus. Then the hypothalamus will stimulate anterior or posterior, depending upon which hormone it will be stimulating. We will be discussing what are the different types of hormones in the anterior part or the posterior part in the next part. Okay, so the hormones which are secreted from the hypothalamus is known as releasing hormone, and then it will stimulate either the pituitary hormone, then anterior or posterior, and if on the other hand, if it will be inhibiting certain hormone, then the hormone is known as inhibitory hormone. Okay, inhibitory hormone. For example, if you say gonadotropin releasing hormone, it will stimulate the pituitary. As I have already told you, the hypothalamus will release only releasing hormone. Okay, which will stimulate the pituitary to release gonadotropin. And if you say somatostatin, from the hypothalamus will inhibit the growth hormone from the pituitary. So two type of things you saw, that is, one is the releasing hormone, example is gonadotropin, another one was the inhibiting hormone, that is somatostatin. Both what they did, they first stimulated the pituitary, and then the pituitary will do the further action. So this is needed to be understood. First the hypothalamus releases certain hormone which will stimulate the pituitary, and in pituitary also anterior and posterior will be there. So which hormone it will be secreting, depending upon that it will be releasing, and then pituitary will move to the target system. If you focus on what are the different types of the releasing hormone from the hypothalamus, first is the thyrotropin releasing hormone. What it will do, it will release the thyroid. Okay, it is a peptide hormone, also called as thyrotropin's releasing factor. It will stimulate the release of the thyroid stimulating hormone from the anterior pituitary. Okay, and thyroid hormone we will be discussing in detail in the later half. Second is gonadotropin releasing hormone. This is also a peptide hormone. It will release the follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone from the anterior pituitary. Okay, growth hormone, it will release the growth releasing factor, that it is also peptide hormone, and it will release the somatostatin, and growth inhibitory hormone also will be secreted from the hypothalamus. Okay, if you see this chart, okay, corticotropin releasing hormone, if you see this chart you will be better understand. So all these things is represented in the form of chart. Okay. First is the thyroid releasing hormone, that is TRH. What it will do? It will stimulate the secretion of TSH and prolactin. All these things in detail we will be discussing. First you need to understand from where it is released. Then GnRH, that is gonadotropin releasing hormone. What it will do? It will secrete FSH and LH. The function of all we will be discussing each. Okay. Then GRH, that is growth hormone. Growth hormone releasing factor. It will stimulate the growth hormone. Somatostatin, also it is secreted from the hypothalamus. It will inhibit the growth hormone. As I have told you, hypothalamus can be releasing or inhibitory. So this is inhibitory. Corticotropin releasing hormone. What it will do? It will stimulate the secretion of ACTH. Okay. And PIH, that it will inhibit the prolactin secretion. So all these hormones, all these things are the releasing factor, or you can say one is the inhibitor is the somatostatin, which will effect on the anterior pituitary. All these are part of the anterior pituitary. There are two parts, anterior and posterior, and major of the hormone are belong to the anterior, and only two, that is oxytocin and vasopressin, belongs to the posterior pituitary, which we will be discussing on later part of the video. But first of all, today we have focused mainly on the what is hormones, then what are the different types of hormones, classification of hormones, and what is hypothalamus, and what are the different hormones released from the hypothalamus. This we have all discussed, and this is the diagram of hypothalamus. Okay. In the next part we will be discussing about the pituitary gland and the different types of hormones secreted from the pituitary gland. So this part of the video, that is hormone, is going to be a made of many parts, because each hormone we will be discussing. So it's very important to understand from the very beginning what is hormone, what is endocrine, although you know it from the standard 12. But certain things are needed to be cleared out, or basics is always, it's better to always start from the basic, so that you don't have to regret later on and you get confused later on. So better to start from the very basic, so that everything will be in the systematic thing, because I can directly start from the thyroid hormone or from the pituitary, but it is of no use. First it should be start from the very basic, so that the systematically it can be understood. So hope this part of the video was helpful for you, and if you have any doubt you can do comment. And I have made many videos regarding different topics of zoology. Do check out also that, and if you find it really very helpful, do share among your friends. And if you are new to my channel, do subscribe, like and share. Thank you and have a great day.